DJ, I got a crazy idea.
What is your crazy idea, Ezekiel?
All right. I have an idea that's called moon racing. So just bear with me for a second. So
That sounds exciting.
think of it just like racing in cars, but on a moon. And these cars are basically
Okay.
people that have taken crashed spaceships. This is going to be like a very futuristic sci-fi um adventure type
I'm
story.
sorry, did you say the cars are people?
No, the cars aren't people, but people would take down spaceships. They literally get all the parts off of them. They take all the engines off of these spaceships, and they're like, "Okay, what are we gonna do with this spaceship engine? I know, we're gonna make a car out of it." That's what they do.
Ah,
They're just like, we're not gonna pick a spaceship. We're gonna make a car, and we're gonna race on this moon, and it's gonna be
something
what you got. What you got? What are you thinking?
uh sounds exciting.
Good.
What do they do about the lack of gravity?
So on moons,
Or if there isn't any
there's
gravity.
soft gravity. So basically, this
Right.
world is very high tech stuff. So like the car's tires, they can shift into different forms. They have like a speed form, an aggressive form. They have like a magnetic form. The cars themselves, um, they could look like however you want them to look. But even the cars can kind of shift and become more aerodynamic and stuff slightly. In every car team and every racing team, there's a driver and then there's a engineer or a mechanic. But think of the mechanic like he is monitoring all the cars, um, basically gauges and stuff, finding out like where the power is going, where he could put more power to give to make the car go faster, or basically beef up the suspension when they're going to go over a certain part. And so he's that guy, and then the driver is just the driver, and he's trying to get the right positioning and stuff so they can win the race. But in this moon racing, the only people that race are like these backwater, how do you say, almost like these black market dealers, all like these shady individuals, like these
Mm.
crime families. Like these are the people that race.
Illegal street
It's
racing.
like illegal street racing, but it's illegal moon racing.
Uh,
And most of it
so
is
is it illegal everywhere on the moon?
it's illegal everywhere. Let's just put an empire in space because what is a space adventure without this evil empire? It's like, can you have a space adventure without an evil empire? You have to be able to, right?
I'm pretty sure you can't.
I mean,
Yeah, there's no possible way you can't.
all right. And not that there's a good empire. This one's just evil, and they don't like racing. Or they just like to control their entire populace. And racing is like
And,
the
no
embodiment.
fun.
No fun.
Racing is fun.
Racing is fun. It's the embodiment of freedom, and the empire hates freedom. So
Dumb.
we've established the empire, and so where I got it, where the story begins is I want there to be the outer ring because there always has to be an outer ring, and there's always a war going on in the outer ring for some reason. Um, because when you're an empire in space, you're always at war with somebody somewhere. It may not be a big war; it's just you're taking care of problems in certain places.
It's
It's
when you have that much land and that much influence, there's always someone who disagrees, someone who's causing trouble. Rebellions, fighting back and whatnot.
dude. Some people want to be free, and that's stupid. Why would you want to be free when you could just
Right.
listen to the empire? The empire will tell you what to think and what to eat, and
Exactly.
when you can talk and what you can say.
Not just moon race.
Not moon race. That's everything the empire stands against because that's freedom. Um. So
Yes, exactly.
so I need I'm gonna need your help in this story premise because it's half baked, but we do the best when they're half baked. Um, so I have a jet pilot, not a jet pilot, a space pilot, and he is in a single craft spaceship, and this is a fighter spaceship, and it's super agile, and he's trained to the best of his abilities, and he's basically just been in the military complex for quite a long time, but he's not brainwashed. Like the brainwashing broke on him, and we'll get into his backstory later. But there was a crazy battle.
An orphan kid from a desert planet.
Yes, I don't know where it's going, but I love it. He's an orphan kid from a desert planet. Tell me more.
Okay.
And he,
And then his adopted parents get killed by the evil empire.
oh, I just got for you. I just got what you gave me. Never mind. Never mind. I figured it out. I was so not on the same wavelength, but I figured it out. For all the listeners out there, you guys can let the people that don't know what's going on know what's going on. So yeah, after his parents are killed on the desert planet, just happens to find like some pirates kidnapped him per se, and then he found himself in the Empire's fighting force. So he learned how to fly fighter ships, and he's now in this outskirts fighting when his plane gets shot down and he crash lands on one of these moons. But what I need help from you is I have now a fighter pilot that can drive the car, but I only need an engineer that's also like highly skilled. But where did he come from? What are we thinking? So there's a big
Maybe
battle.
was going to one of these fancy schools and then got disillusioned by the hypocrisy he was seeing in the empire, and he also joined he joined the fighting forces because he wanted to make a difference, and then saw the hypocrisy, and then he also got shot down and landed on the moon, the racing moon.
The racing moon. So, okay, I have an idea.
Yes.
So he got shot down, and so he was studying all this stuff. What if he was a part of the faction that the Empire was fighting in that sector? And so during this battle, maybe he was, but like the fighter pilot shot down the spaceship with the engineer on it, and then the spaceship with the engineer on it shot down the fighter pilot, and they both ended up crashing on the racing moon.
But they don't know that the one shot down the other and the other shot down the one.
They might know, so
How do they know?
I kind of want to turn this into like
And
a
then they're
buddy.
forced to work together.
So they crash land on this moon. Let's say they're the only two that survive, just to make things really simple. They're the only two that survived. And when they come out, they see each other and they know because one guy's wearing the one colors and the other guy's wearing the other colors. One guy is the rebellion and the other one is the empire. And they see each other and they're like, I gotta kill this guy. But before they can do that, immediately scavengers show up and like the heads of all of these like not mafia. What would you call a thieves guild in space? What would you?
I'd call it a thieves guild.
But that's a medieval term. Okay, we can call it the thieves
Yeah,
guild.
well, space is
Scavengers guild.
it's
It's
nostalgic.
it's just fancy medieval. They're just two sides of the same coin. I'm gonna probably get a lot of hate for that. So these like the Scavengers Guild shows up, and immediately both of them get captured. They get thrown into shackles and they get thrown into the back of a transportation rig with like a giant electrified cage around it. And now they're forced to be in the same proximity and they can't kill each other because they have the handcuffs on.
I like it.
And that's where the story starts. Like these two guys. But they have to like become they basically have to they end up becoming friends through a sequence of events that forces them to work. They gotta work together. Yes. Yes.
You have this conversation that's like, all right, look, I don't like you, you don't like me, but if we're going to survive here, we're gonna have to work together.
It's like
They
fine.
work together and they survive. They don't even just survive, they start thriving.
They start thriving.
Moon racers.
Yes. Yeah.
So how do they get into moon racing?
Um well, so they have to make a bad deal. So my idea is there's the crime boss. And the crime boss is sitting on his chair and he's looking over all these racers. And he's got a junk car. Just a junk car. And this car, he knows whoever drives it probably will die in this race because they're basically death races. Like there's no rules. Like the rule is get from point A to point B. Whoever gets to point B first wins. Like you can make your own lot, you can make your own trail. You don't have to follow the road. You could just kill all the other racers and be the only person that makes it to point B. Like you can win in different ways. And so whoever drives this junk car just is not going to make it. And so he needs two willing, disposable individuals to to fill this to fill this spot. But there also needs to be like a level
in the race.
Yeah, this slot and maybe our fire.
It's not about the car, it's about the driver.
And the engineer. The engineer is gonna come up later. I have a whole system like laid out, and I'm gonna let you kind of fix it and make it better once I explain it. But you have the engineer and the driver and the pilot. We'll call him the pilot because he's a pilot. And they're like, "We'll drive in your death race if you give us our freedom." And the guy laughs and says, "No, we'll treat you a little better, but we're not going to give you your freedom. You belong to us. We could just kill you, or we could both turn in a bounty, one to the rebels for your head and one to the Empire for your head." And so they're not really worth a whole lot to but they end up having to race. They fill the slots. So they get this junk car. Kind of describe to me what you think the car looks like. Think of like a space car that would race across the moon. But also I want you to think of the moon like this giant jagged mountainous, like where it's been attacked by like giant nuclear thermal bombs that have or solar bombs that have just absolutely decimated the landscape. So there's floating rocks, there's weird geometry mountains that like curve like basically a tore up landscape. I want you to think of a nasty tore up landscape. And there's another moon. There's two moons. There's another moon crashing into the other moon. So there's these two moons that are like crashed into each other in space. And then they have to
actively crashing or like they already crashed. They're just stuck together.
Yeah, they already crashed. And they have to drive through the debris field to the other moon. Whoever gets to the finish line on the other moon wins.
Whoa, this sounds exciting.
This is getting crazy. And both of the moons are orbiting. Okay, go for it. I'm just still like imagining. Go for it. What do you think what kind of car do they got?
I'm thinking so it has to be like some sort of super all-terrain thingamathingy. So I'm envisioning that the wheels are on these arms that kind of shoot off of the body of the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And since it's an old model, instead of having wheels or whatever that can transform, it has like a triple wheel where it has one wheel that's like the speed wheel and one wheel that's like the gripping wheel and one wheel that's the whatever. And it's on this like triangle thing that rotates.
Oh, sweet.
So when it needs the one wheel, it can just switch and switch back and whatever. Um, and so it has a body. I'm not sure of what I'm thinking for the body. I'm kind of thinking like it's just a ball that the pilot sits in, and he has all the buttons and stuff in front of him, and it's a mostly glass dome with, a digital heads up display, and he has more of a
Well,
uh
what if you turned it
spaceship
what if you turned it into like a muscle car
handles.
body?
Uh,
But then but then
that's that.
but but then
That
but then put everything you said inside the muscle car body instead of just being a glass ball. What if it was like a muscle car?
Yeah, that would
Think
look kind of weird, but we could.
no 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 no. Think furious and fast here. Think think
Yeah,
think think bald man energy.
that'll work.
No, no,
Do
I
that.
want you to keep cooking. No, I want you to keep cooking. What else you got? What else you got? What
I was
else?
just thinking it'd have a more of a spaceship kind of controls, almost like a skid steer with
Mhm.
two handles instead of a steering wheel or a stick or anything like that. And then it'd have different buttons on the handles that do different things. Because in a race, like all of the controls right at your fingertips, because it's about reaction and speed, because you need to be able to switch the tires or the whatever to be able to
Well, that's what the engineer
go as
does.
fast as possible without
The pilot.
engine time. But how's the engineer know? The engineer's not in the car.
No, the engineer is in the car. It's a team of two. Sorry, I didn't explain this.
Oh,
Do you
both
remember?
in the
Do
car.
you remember that the old Herbie movie with Don Knotts? And I can't remember the other actor to save my life.
Yeah.
So think of it like that. Like they're both, and I should have explained that earlier.
The
The
tire
the whole
comes
concept.
off and they go, whose tire is that?
So, but
No, not like that.
I don't know. I mean, similar to, but like the engineer is in the car, and that's what I was gonna explain later. Like why it takes a team of two to race these cars. You have the pilot, and then you have the engineer, and they're both in the car. And the engineer, what he's doing is he's in the car actively like changing the tires, like finding out, and they're both like talking to each other. Like it's a very team based race. Like a pilot can't do it by himself, and an engineer cannot do it by himself. Like pilots have tried to do it by themselves, but they always either crash or burn or die every single time. Like no pilot, and then no engine and engineers have tried to do it by themselves, but either they just don't make it. It's a team, so it's really I want to really dig into like this team dynamic in this story where they need one another. They have, and so that's just my thought. But what do you think? Make it like fix it, make it better.
That's good. No, that's good. It's be the emotional heart of the story because they're relying on each other for survival more than just working together. They actually have to put each other's lives in each other's hands every time they race. And if they make a mistake, then boom, they're probably dead. Not necessarily, they could survive, but in their old rusty bucket, which might not actually be rusty. They're
No,
probably not
no, make it rusty.
going to
Make
do so well if they have a bad crash.
no. They make it rusty. Like this thing's junk. Like they're driving a junk piece of like a car. Like even like you said, like it's so old that all three of the different tires are on like a triangle frame. Like it's the old everything on it is just like hand me down, old, jerry rigged. Like part of the car is just so old. It's just like nobody expects them to even live past through the first leg of the race.
Mm,
Just to
I see.
just to dig in onto like there's no way. There's no way these two people can even do this. They've never raced before. They have a junk car, but little does everybody know. This is a like one of the best pilots that's ever
They
flown.
have the
They
skills
got the
to
skills.
pay the bills.
That's right. They got the skills to pay the bills.
And
And
they
so
both have the know-how needed to do the thing.
it's right. It's right. So
All right, so what happens next?
they walk to their car in slow motion. Mm-hmm. And then all the other races are all
Wonderful
racers.
music.
Yeah. And all the other racers come out and they're walking to their cars in slow motion. And the music starts to build and like this weird moon fog is like at their feet and they're like walking through it as they go to their cars. And as like you go to the race, there's all the cars are already lined up everywhere. And you hear the announcer say, "Racers, you have 5 minutes to prep your car and be ready to go. May gravity hold you down." Like he says something an announcer always says, but like for a death race, they always say something like, "May the odds be never in your favor." But it's like, "May gravity keep you down." Or it's like, "May gravity not keep you," or it's like, "May gravity set you free," or something like that. Something cool. Because in death races, they have those.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah, you always have to have those in a death race.
and so they walk up to their car. It's junk. It's a junk car. They look over and everybody else has nice cars. Any thoughts? Jump in at any time, DJ. I'm gonna just kind of keep going with this. Everybody else has nicer cars. They also
Keep going.
everybody has teams of two.
Right.
Everybody's walking up. There's certain teams that they have like full like think like Formula One like jersey vests like racing suits on with all the sponsors of all the different factions on these moons that are like supporting these racers. Most of them are shady and illegal.
Advertisers and things.
Like very illegal. Like you see like skulls and crossbones with like knives going through the eye sockets and stuff to like signify some like like really evil group. And I don't know, you have all sorts of people, and then like some of the cars are like really sleek and shiny, like full of like polished metal, and other cars have like graffiti written on them with different like symbols and stuff signifying all the different factions. And then you have their car. And their car, like as they walk up to it, one of like the wheel arms, like the arm that holds the triple wheels, like just kind of like breaks and it like slumps a little bit. And the engineers looks at it and goes, "I can fix it. Just give me a minute." And he crawls. He like opens up the back. He like opens up the back and
Like, you only have 4.
you only have 4 minutes. He opens up the back and immediately. So here I have this crazy idea, and I've been using this idea. I'm going to kind of steal it from another story that I have, another space world. Um, like nanobots, like the one in like Avengers Endgame that Tony Stark had on the Iron Man suit,
Yeah.
that could like shift and turn into all these different things.
Yeah.
Most everything in this futuristic world is made out of these nanobots. But mainly like the energy stuff, like the frames and metal, like supports, they're not normally made out of the nanobots, but they're not made out of live nanobots or energized nanobots. They're like just solid, and they basically just went into the shape and then they die in that shape, and so you can't change it. But like engines and stuff, and like power supplies and gear shifters and energy conduits, they're all made out of these nanobots, and so every single part of the engine can be rearranged and remade. And so it could be made bigger, it could be made smaller, it could be made with where it's more. But you only ever have so much energy, but you can rearrange that energy in such a way that allows you to have much more power output or much more torque ratio or something like that. And so this is like the engineers like
That's what the engineer is for.
this is what the engineer, and I kind of said that, I kind of alluded to that earlier, that like the engineer will come, you'll figure out what the engineer does later. And so he like walks in the back, and immediately like in front of him like a 3D screen shows up just floating in front of him, and like he takes his hand. Think again, like to relate this to another IP, like Tony Stark's like 3D imaging, so he can grab a 3D element and then swipe it to the left, and the whole 3D element spins. And so he's grabbing 3D elements, and all these elements are depicting the engine in the car, in the different, like the drive shaft, the um the energy conduits, the supply chain, the fuel cells. And he just immediately, his hands just start going so fast, and he's just like dropping things over there, and he's like rearranging, and you don't see any of this happen. um but immediately the arm, like the wheel arm that went limp as they walked over the car, immediately like comes back to life as it's like re-energized from the engine. He's like, I told you I'd fix it in a minute, and he's just still going. He's making it better. He's like, dang, this thing's junk. It's like, who put this engine together? He's like, he's talking to himself, commentating about like, he's like, nobody who knows anything would ever put an energy cell after the reactor. You always put the energy cell before the reactor, and if you need a little bit more boost, you put. And he just starts making up with like jargon, a cellular accelerator after.
In the compressor.
Yeah, the passing the compressor. It's like you just start saying, it's like, what's the thing off of Back to the Future, the time traveling device. The
The flux capacitor.
Look at the thoughts. You never put the. It's like, if you want some crazy power, dump like straight pipe all the energy cells into the flux capacitor. You go so fast, you might even go back in time. You just, you just, so that's
Yes.
and so he's just like, he's shifting stuff around and stuff, and then the pilot gets into the pilot's seat, and he grabs the throttle, or he presses down on the throttle, and you just hear the whole thing just hum. I mean, just like think of it like a not like a. I mean, think think ball of energy, furious and fast. For just imagine it for just a second. And the whole car hums.
Imagining it.
Okay. Again, you have like these arms that all have wheels attached to them, with like the different style of wheels. You have your speed wheel, just like you said earlier. Um, and so like he like looks over the pilot and goes, "Are you ready to drive? Like you ready to drive like nobody's ever driven before?" And the pilot like grabs the wheel or the controls, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we can do this thing." And so pretend it's like the pilot's up front in the pilot's seat, and the engineer is like right behind him in like this engineering station where he can like literally like mechanically, like if he needs to, like he can get outside the car and manually repair something. Like the pilot, that's right, the engineer has like free reign. Like he can run any sort of weapons that are on board. He can rearrange the engine to give different outputs and stuff like that. When all the
Pretty epic.
when all the lights go red, what do you think? What's any ideas you got to make it better, or we can just start the race?
No, that sounds good to me.
Sounds good to you.
And just start the race.
I need your help here. Like I'm having to cook. Um, all right. So, what do you think the race start
Great.
what do you think the race starts like? Like take your fate like some other IP and just make this one even crazier.
Uh, I think the race starts with nothing. I think nothing. Nobody takes them seriously, so no one pays attention to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
Maybe some
nothing
jeers,
happens to them.
maybe some jeers, or it's like, who are these guys? These guys suck.
Yeah, but nobody like attacks them or whatever, and it's a very boring race for them.
No, I want it to be exciting.
The
Make it.
engineers just
It's got to be a death race. Like, make it opposite that way. Make it to where like they look at you as like, I'm gonna kill you first, little boy. I'm gonna make your heap of junk more junk than it's a heap. Like, give me something scary. Give me something scary, DJ. Make it scary. Say it's like, I'm gonna eat you up and spit you out.
have that department.
No, I need you. I need you to make it scary.
Some peg leg pirate.
Oh, yeah, yeah. This is like a backwater moon. This is a backwater moon with black market pirates. Like, oh yeah. He's maybe you got an eye patch, fake bionic eye, lets him see really far. He's like, it's like us in the moon bloods. We're gonna kill you, and then we're gonna drain all your blood and sacrifice it to the moon because we're crazy.
Yeah, that sounds pretty crazy.
It's pretty crazy. Like make it like the start of this race is gonna be just sheer carnage.
Uh-huh.
It's just sheer.
Just people bopping each other on the heads.
No, I mean even before they start, they're like, "I'm gonna kill you as soon as they say go. I'm gonna crawl inside your car, and I'm gonna slit your throat." Like stuff like that. Like just terrible pirate stuff.
What happens after they say go?
Carnage. Carnage. I don't know. This is where I need your help. What I mean, so they have so they need so okay. Let's map out the race real quick. So they're starting on one moon. They got to go through the collision field to where all like the different pieces of moon are like cracked away and like starting to float into space. They got to go through the debris field, get to the other moon, and that's where they race basically ends. But everybody everywhere in between is like free game. Like we could put anything here. We could put what do you think?
Everybody's shooting grenades and lightning bolts and stuff like that at people, and they're
Dodge.
causing avalanches that people have to go through and get around, and a bunch of random indigenous moon people that start shooting at them with their rifles.
Yes.
And there's a passing asteroid that has a bunch of smaller comets coming off of it and crashing into the surface of the moon and causing trouble for the racers.
As they're driving, it's just like crashing all around them. They're having to like dodge back and forth. Maybe there's like 100 racers. Maybe there's like 100 racers, knowing that only 15% of them will probably make it.
I don't like those odds.
They're not good odds.
I guess that's why I'm not racing. Yeah.
Those are terrible odds for them. I mean, these our pilot and our engineer, like they've been around war. They know what war looks like, and this is gonna be a battle. This is gonna be a war. This is gonna be them fighting for their lives for the next however long the race is. We could say like the race lasts. How long does a normal like Daytona race last, or a Formula One race?
I don't know.
How what?
I think it's usually until they're done with the laps. I think it's based on laps, not time.
Yeah. But we should make it like the same. That's what I was thinking. It's like it's not going to be a short race. It's going to be a long race. Like it's going to be kind of a trek. Like there's, let's say, like the first trek is from starting line to the end of the moon, and then they have to fly off the end of the moon into the debris field, and then they have to get through the debris field. Then they have to go to Cutthroat Canyon, uh, Gear Breakers Gorge, um, the gnarly peaks, right, right before they get to the next moon. They have to drive up the like these moon mountains, and and then down the moon mountains, and then the last stretch to the finish line. But we could do anything through this period. But we could start with the pilot and the engineer basically like hands like the race hasn't even started yet. The pilot is like sitting there, hand on the throttle, or the gear shifter, other hand on the
Is this the only track, or are there multiple tracks
there's
for racing?
there's multiple tracks for racing, but we got to start with the beginner one.
Yeah.
This is the tutorial track. This is the track that we introduce the viewer or the the audience to. This track. This is the tutorial track. This is like, hey guys, we're gonna tell you guys about moon racing. Basically, we race cars in space, and they're like space cars, and this is what it's like. So then, so they're all ready. The engineer like puts his hand, like punches the shoulder of the pilot and goes, "All right, we made it this far. It's like let's not die here. Maybe one day you'll be able to go back and see your kids." And the pilot goes, "You know, engineer, I don't got any kids." He goes, "I know, but maybe you'll live long enough that you could find somebody and have some." Maybe like the engineer has like a family, but the pilot doesn't. But he's like, "Okay, we're in this together."
And he's just constantly roasting him about it, apparently.
Apparently, oh yeah, all the time. Um, Dang. Okay, so you have like these glowing orbs that float, and one of them, and they all turn red, or they're all yellow. I don't know. No, no, they all turn
Okay.
they all turn red, and then you can see as the one on the top turns green. How do they do it? How do they do it in drag racing?
They have lights.
They have lights, but is it?
And when the bottom light goes on, you go.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, you have basically think we're gonna go for like a drag racing type look, and you have the lights that like start counting down as the lights turn on, and then right as it hits the bottom, all the lights turn green, and that's go, and everybody lets it rip. Um, let's say like there's people that are like they're already revving, and to throw in another reference, I say some people like just revving the engine so much that when they try to jump it into gear or basically let it push on the accelerator, the whole car just like dies and like sputters out for a second. And so they get a bad start. And some people are just right on the money and they get a good start. And so their car takes off. And our pilot and our engineer, they get a good start. They don't get the best start, but they get a good start. And the people that get bad starts, that they didn't get a very good takeoff, they get ran over by the people behind them. And they die. They don't make it. And that's part of the race. And here we go.
Even some of them.
What do you mean, not even some of them?
They all die?
No, just the people that didn't get a good start, and they like their car like putters out. They have to like restart it if they can.
All
But
the people who didn't get a good start?
yeah, let's say there's like two that lived, two cars, two teams, two teams that lived, and maybe a couple other teams that lived, but their cars did not live because they jumped out as they were getting ran over by a car behind
That's
them.
so sad. The race didn't even start and they already got
This is a, this is a
destroyed.
this is a scary story. This is for not for the faint of heart. This is this kind of story, full of excitement. Um, so they're driving, they're going, and immediately you see one of the cars, like the back of the car, like open up, and like you see this giant pulse cannon just start raising up, and immediately you see it's the pirate guy that told our pilot and the engineers like, as soon as the race starts, I'm killing you first to get that ugly thing off the road. It'll put you out of your misery. And so you see this cannon, and the pilot sees it, and the engineer is like, "Oh shoot, I'm gonna give you a little bit more control and mobility here." And so you see him immediately like re-engineering the engine a little bit, and you see as like more power goes towards the wheel shafts and stuff, so he can maneuver just a little bit easier. And bullets start firing immediately. Explosions are happening, all while they're heading towards the edge of the moon as a meteor falls from the sky, shooting smaller meteors onto the ground. And they're having to like dodge everything, and it's crazy, and they're having to like drift around corners and stuff, and they're going super fast, and they go so fast. So let's say they have like a speedometer with like the hand, and as soon as it gets to the maximum number on the speedometer, he like gear shifts, and the entire speedometer spins, and basically the needle being going from the right side, basically maxing out, now at the bottom of the numbers, and there's new sets of numbers, and so basically it can climb again. And when it climbs again, he can gear shift again, and then it can climb again, he can gear shift again. And so it's like he's resetting his speedometer so he could go faster. It's just an idea.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That way he has unlimited speed. He can just keep going up and up and up and up.
I mean, I guess it depends on how many gears he has. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So he's they're just flying, and so
That seems
he's like just drops the gear, and they just take off. They are burning space rubber,
moon rubber.
and then maybe the pilot yells out, "It's like it's about to
So
get.
what happens? Do they win?
We gotta get through. I don't know. We're still racing." I was thinking about like the different wheels. Like the pilot yells out to the engineer, "It's got to get rough," and he's like, "Dang, I'll see what I can do." And so he shifts all the wheels like to the rough one, but one of the wheels doesn't shift. It's still on like the smooth tire that goes really fast. And he's like, "Dang it! If I don't have that, if I don't get that last wheel up, we're gonna have terrible time maneuvering through this rough patch." And so the engineer has to go outside the car and work on the one tire. There's a word for it. The tire jig, and get it to rotate to the third tire.
Seems like a very dangerous thing,
Oh, it's gonna be crazy dangerous.
especially since people are shooting space cannons at him
Mm-hmm.
and meteors falling from the sky and all sorts of bumps and things.
And they're having a race. They're going really fast. On top of all of that. So.
Yeah, that's something that needs to be taken into consideration too.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to keep it. So, all right. So the engineer fixes it. What else do you think could happen that the engineer would have to go outside the car to fix? Or maybe the engineer has to evade another car. Maybe they're like the engineer's like, He's like, "Hey, pilot, you see that car up there?" He's like, "Yeah, that nice one." He's like, "Yeah, I want that car." The pilot's like, "Okay, let's get that car."
Oh, the like their battery cell gets damaged or something.
Mhm.
Or it's just so old that it stops working.
All the above.
And they're like passing another car, and the engineer jumps onto their car and steals their battery cell and then jumps back onto his car.
Oh, that's got no. Yes, yes. So yeah, I like that even more. That's even crazier. Like they're getting parts from all the other cars that are in the race with them while they're racing, and like fixing and like beefing up their own car, like the junk car. They're making it not that way.
Oh, what if when the engineer is trying to fix the tire assembly, one of the other cars is like hitting his car, and then as they're going, he like takes the tire assembly off the one car and then puts it on his car.
Yes.
And then he just has this brand new, morphine tire assembly that can change into more than just three different tires.
A more adaptive tire.
And then the other car only has three tires and it crashes and explodes. So by the end of the race, their car is completely different.
Yes.
And it's like this brand new
Yes.
smattering of different
Yes.
parts from different cars.
Oh, that's
It's like
amazing.
that Johnny Cash song.
That's
They
amazing.
steal it one piece at a time.
That's amazing. Yes. All the above. I love that. But like and this is all happening where they're going like 400 miles per hour. Like they are flying and even and they're even not going as fast as they could go. And they're having to go around things and jumping over stuff. And the engineers having to like jump onto other cars, like just go, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna take that. Ooh, I want that right there. And then instead of like racing, they're more like trying to just catch up to the cars they want. And stay away from the pirate guy that wants to kill them for some reason.
So at the beginning of the race, before they start, the engineer's just walking through all the other cars, making a shopping list of the things that he wants. So he's like, "Oh, number 27 has a that I want.
Mm-hmm.
Number 93 has a brand new tire assembly that I want."
Dude, I love that.
And,
How
oh,
about
I like that.
on like when they start racing again? That's exactly what he does. Like on the second race, that's exactly what it is. On this first race, they don't know what they don't know yet. But soon, but like in the race, they're like, okay, we got to get some upgrades. We got to get
This
some.
just won't cut it. We need to do something about
We
this.
need to do something about this. All right. So I was thinking of like a scene where they were driving and they get to the edge of the moon and they basically have to drive off the edge of the moon and they have to land on like this slowly rotating like basically moon fragment. It's just hovering in space. And they have to like land on the side of it, and its gravity's just kind of keeping them barely on. So they're having to keep up their speed as it rotates, and they're having to drive around it as all the other cars are trying to jump on either the same moon fragment or different moon fragments. And they're having to go from like moon fragment to moon fragment, and they're having to look for like broken shards to ramp off of and stuff to like land on different moon fragments. And they're having to fly through this debris field, and the engineers just the whole time just going, it's like, I'm going to give you one more boost, and it's the last one I can give you to make this jump. And then we're going to be out of energy cells. And we're basically going to just be coasting. And that's not good. So it's like, I'm going to give you this boost, and then I'm going to jump on the.
Tells them when to punch it for the jump.
Yeah, it tells them when to punch it. He's like, 3, 2, 1. They punch it. And then they're just coasting for a little bit. And the engineer's like, get me close to that car right there. And they land next to it, and the engineer jumps onto that car. And he jumps onto the hood of that car, and he's looking through, and the other pilot and the enemy car is looking at him. He pulls like a space gun and tries to shoot off the engineer, and he's having to dance over around the car. And like they all go like really fast, so it's like really scary. This is like something like Tom Cruise would do, like in real life, like
Uh-huh.
doing dancing on the car. Maybe he has like a magnetic gravity tether that he can like tether to the cars that like kind of he can hold on to the rope and stuff.
Or it
Just
makes it a little bit more realistic
makes it way more safe. We don't want
because it's
safe.
attached to the car so he doesn't go flying off.
We want it unrealistically dangerous the entire time. Oh, never mind. I like the tether because that means we can have it break at some point.
Or you can have him get hit with stuff and then just absolutely wipe out, but he'll not be dead.
Y'all, even better. It's like, oh man. And then like the other pilot's like, I gotta get back to the engineer. He's like, he's dragging. He's not even like dragging behind the enemy car. He's like, he's flying because the enemy cars, everybody's going like 600 miles per hour, just booking it down this moon dirt road. And the engineers like comes back to consciousness, and they have radios for some point. They have radios now, so they can talk to each other. And the pilot's like, just cut yourself free, I'll catch you. And the engineer's like, I don't trust you. You worked for the Empire. It's like, this now? We've already had this conversation. Just trust me. I need you to finish this race. And it's like, it's like, I'll do it for your family. And the engineer's like, fine. So he cuts himself free and he flies backwards. And the pilot does like this crazy epic drift thing. And as he drifts, he like throws the door open and like catches him in the seat. And then he like spins the rest of the way around. And then they keep going because it's crazy. They might have lost a couple of places, but they caught his engineer. It slowed him down for a second, but not forever. That's what I need.
Nice.
That's what I need. I need crazy stuff to happen. Moon racing.
That happening at those crazy speeds.
Oh, it's crazy. And so.
All about the family and stuff. Gotta save that family.
So I saved the family. From the no, the engineer's the only one with the family. The pilot doesn't have a family. And the engineer lets him know.
Yeah, the pilot doesn't have a family.
Oh, that's we want him to have a family.
So what happens? Do they win or do they not win? Or do they not win, but they did good enough to go to the next race?
I like this. They didn't win, but they lived. they survived. They did really good. Like they come putting in, and like with this junk rig that no longer looks junk anymore. At least like all the like the outer body of their car still looks junk. The inside of the car has the best tires, the best engine, like new and improved everything. Like steering column, energy cells, drive. I'm just making stuff up now. Flux capacitor. And so yeah, they finished the race.
Nice. Nice.
Then
Very harrowing race with
very harrowing.
all sorts of dangers and
so now
that was a lot.
Now we just need somehow for their racing skills to now save the universe.
Ooh.
Either they take down the Empire with their racing skills, there's a calamity happening, and their racing skills are the only skills capable of saving them, saving the whole universe.
The entirety of the universe?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, we don't have
That's a lot. That's a big.
We don't have to jump that big. We go smaller. I do have another idea.
What's that idea?
Unless you have an idea. What are you thinking? Got any thoughts cooking in your head?
I'm thinking, okay, so there's like this expanding black hole or something like that. And it's at this laboratory. And also in the laboratory is the antidote for the black hole. But no one can go in to the laboratory because the black hole is messing up the gravity.
Oh my!
All the stuff.
The gravity's crazy. You would need
gravity's crazy. Everything's crazy.
You would need a crazy driver.
But if they don't But if they don't stop the black hole, it's going to expand and consume everything. And the more it expands, the more it consumes, the faster it expands and the faster it consumes. So they need somebody crazy enough
Mm-hmm.
go into the laboratory,
Oh yeah.
get the anti black hole, and then get out of the laboratory before getting consumed by the black hole.
Oh my goodness, it's so crazy. It just might work. I know two people. I know two people that can do it, DJ. They can do it, or they could die trying. It's the pilot and the engineer. They can do it.
What? No way.
Yeah, they're gonna have like a crazy car that they made themselves from racing in all like these death races and racing for like the Empire and racing away from the Empire and stuff. They can do it.
They can do it. All right.
All right.
Well, maybe we should save that for another time.
You want to save it for another one?
That a bit later.
Okay.
Yeah. For now, let's do sponsors.
Let's do it. Let's do some sponsors. Let's do some sponsors. DJ, I know you got there's a author that you don't that is sponsoring us.
Yeah, there's this author sponsoring us by the name of Nathan Wayne. He's the creator of the Sunland Saga, and he has some books on Amazon. So the first one's called The Divided Kingdom of Sunland, and it is about these two thieves who get hired by the king to steal something from another land, another kingdom, and they have to go on this adventure, and all sorts of shenanigans ensue. And yeah, so go ahead and give that a read. It's The Divided Kingdom of Sunland, written by Nathan Wayne, on Amazon.
Sweet. The link will be in the description.
Yeah, and Ezekiel, you have something too.
I do. There is a tabletop RPG system that is currently sponsoring us. It is yet to come out. Scheduled to come out 2027, but it might come out a little later. They're wanting to have a finished product before they release it. That's how it always should be. But I am also helping with that finished product. So I'm basically testing a tabletop RPG system similar to D&D and Pathfinder. Works off a D20 system. The system works in any sort of campaign that you can run. Western space racing campaign. That'd be crazy, but you could do it with this system. It could do fantasy and all sorts of other fun stuff. That's called Incredible Quest, and they sponsor us. Thank you, Incredible Quest. And thank everybody else for listening. We really appreciate everybody's attention and support and all you guys everywhere. Anything else, DJ?
Tune in next time to hear how the pilot and the engineer get out of the black hole.
Or
maybe they don't.
Maybe they don't. Maybe we'll just say, well, they die in the black hole and everything ends. Okay, DJ, what's the next story you want to tell? And then DJ does a crazy story. Normally every week we tell a completely different story just to keep things fresh. Sometimes we go part twos, but we'll come back to part twos. I don't know. Leave a comment down in the description. Leave a comment. Let us know.
Full of mystery.
Let us know what you guys want to hear.
Yeah, let us know what you want.
We appreciate it. Thank you guys for listening.
Until next time, this has been World Crafting.
Bye.